Hello, good morning. Hi, this is Dharam. I'm now going to demo my web development project. Uh, let's go to the OpenShift URL. So this is my homepage. As you can see, I have all the links over here: project, assignment, my GitHub, project demo video, project proposal, and the email. Uh, let's go to project. So my project is PortMan. It's basically a portfolio manager where people can come and view all the Nasdaq stocks and uh, review them, write messages on the stocks, view each other's profile and portfolios, and they can even recommend stocks to different investors. I have two types of users, like investors and analysts. So investors can do basically view all the charts, and then they can also comment on each other's stocks and everything. Analysts can do everything that investors can do. They can The additional things that they can do is they've got an advanced chart, so they can analyze stocks, and they also can write blog posts, so the investors can read them and then make good decisions about what stocks they want to buy or no. Okay, so now I'll just walk through my homepage. As you can see, the homepage shows the index value of the Nasdaq. This is the API that I'm using is Quandle, so it provides me with end of day prices. So as you can see, this is the price for April 20th, that was yesterday. This is the index. Then we have the difference from the previous day, the percentage in the difference, the high and low for the day, and the total market value uh, at Nasdaq. So this is the basic chart that I'm showing. The basic chart is has the all the values of Nasdaq from 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, year to date, 1 year, and overall. And you can even move the slider to change the period you want, or you can set the date. So let's say to 2010, and it just adjusts accordingly. Any You can just move your mouse and it'll just give you the exact price. I'm using high charts to display this information. So I get the information from the API, I feed it to the high charts API, and it plots a graph for me. Uh, I'm also showing news on the homepage. These are all the basic news from the Google News API feed, and I'm filtering it based on the business category over here. So you can see all these news are the business news that are live on Google right now, and it keeps on updating as you get new news. So when the user clicks on the news, it'll open it in a new tab so that my website is not lost. It's there in the other tab. And I close this. I'll go back. Now, as a user, if you're not logged in, you can still view some part of the site. What uh, we are going to see is the search functionality. So uh, I have autocomplete over here. So as you type, let's say Google, you get the stock name over here, and if you click on that, it will directly take you to Google's stock page. Again, it's the same thing: the index value of Google, the difference from the previous day, the percentage difference, the high and low, and now instead of the total market value, we have the volume over here. Similar to Nasdaq chart, there's this Google chart which gives you all the information about Google stock uh, throughout the years. It's the entire historical data. You can move the slider within a period as well. and you can zoom into 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, year to date. Uh, we also have the news over here. Now, if you see, this news is basically just Google News and not news for like the entire business section. So, uh, I think this makes sense. Like if you are viewing the stock for Google, it helps to see what news are there for that are going on for Google and not for some other company. You can see this is down completely dynamic. So let's say we search for Facebook, and I go on Facebook site page, and it's the same thing. You can see that FB news are here. Uh, So these are the functionalities that a non-logged in user can do on my site, like just view the stock prices and uh, analyze a bit using the basic chart. Now I'll show you the registration module. Uh, so registration module is just basically enter your basic information like first name, last name, username. That should be unique. If this the same user exists, will just give you an error. uh, Password, there's no limit, or there are no criteria for the password. It can be anything you want. And the email, uh, if I just press register, I just get an error that everything's missing. So let's start filling in information, and I press register again. You can see it's validating it every time. And uh, so let's say Dharam, my password is also Dharam. I'll try that again. And Dharam at hotmail.com. Now, if I register, I came to the profile page. The profile page shows me the username, password, my first name, last name, email. I'm able to edit my first name, last name, or email however I want. I can change my user type to be investor or analyst. Uh, Then I have my portfolio summary. Since I haven't added any stocks to my portfolio right now, everything's blank right now. So let's go to, and I can even update my profile picture. Let's do that first. I'll select my profile picture from here and I update it. There's no size limitation on the profile picture. It can be anything, any size you want. We'll just resize accordingly. uh, I'll show you that this particular page is also responsive. So you just make it small and everything becomes small. Here you see. And let's get back. So this is my profile. I can go to portfolio. As you can see, there's no stock added to the portfolio yet. So let's start adding some stocks. Let's say I want to buy some Google stocks. Uh, let's say I had invested at $700 per stock, and I bought like 100 stocks. I'm not that rich. And uh, so investment date, let's say I bought it in 2014, and I press add. So you can see the Google stock is added to my portfolio. Uh, you can see the investment date, the investment price, the quantity, the investment total, current profit, and profit percentage. So if I were making a loss over here, it would show me current loss and profit loss percentage. Uh, so this is how you add a stock to the portfolio. You can even edit or delete it. If you edit, it'll just uh, fill in everything over here. So instead of quantity 100, let's say I remember that I just invested 50, and I press update. You'll just update the stock and update everything accordingly. Uh, there is another way to search for stocks. So let's say I'm not on this page, but let's say I'm on the actual stock page. Now, since I'm logged in, I get this option to add to portfolio on the stock page itself. So let's see, 112, right? So I do add to portfolio. Let's say I invested at 120, let's say just 25 stocks, and the investment date was like 3 days back, and I press add. So now I even have the Facebook uh, stock in here, and you can see that it's making a loss right now, and the loss is at 6.32%. So always a percentage is cut off at two decimal digits, and all the prices have like commas. It converts. I use numeral JS to format it to money or percentage. So this is what's happening. I can even write comments over here. So let's say, yay, I just invested in Facebook, and I can press comment. Sorry, I right clicked. So I pressed that. Uh, it put a comment with my name, my comment, and the timestamp that I when I published the comment. So this is basically the portfolio part. Uh, if I go to profile now, I can see the portfolio summary where my current my investment total, like the money I had invested. Then you have the current total, which was the current value of my stocks, and then the profit that I'm making over my actual investment and the profit in percentage. So this is here. Another thing that I have is people. So I already have like 6 users created: Alice, Bob, Charlie, Dan, Ed, and Frank. Out of which Bob, Dan, and Frank are analysts, and Alice, Charlie, and Ed are investors. I have also added the functionality that I can follow some analyst. So let's say I am sorry. Let's say I'm following Bob Hope. So I can click over here, and it just moves Bob to the other swim lane that shows that the analysts that I follow, and I'll show you where this particular thing is used. So I have blogs over here, and since I'm an investor, I cannot create any blogs, but I can read all of them. So these are all the blogs that all these analysts have written, like Bob, Dan, and Frank. And if I'll just show you how the blog works. So I can click on the title, or I can click on the view full blog, and it'll just give me the complete blog. And then the 5 minute guide is here for T-Mobile, and that's it basically. So all these blogs are here, and then it also gives the date when the blog was created. Now, so based on the follow thing that I had done over here, I had followed Bob. Let's say I want to read, since I follow Bob, I like Bob, and let's say I just want to read all the blogs that have been written by Bob. So I have this filter button over here which says that filter blogs by analysts that I follow. So if I click over there, it'll just give me the blogs written by the analyst that I follow, that is Bob, and all others are just hidden. And since it's a filter button, if you just press on that again, it'll just give me all the blogs again. So that's how filtering works. Let's say I read some more blogs by Dan, and I liked him. So now, ideally, when I click on filter, I should get blogs by both Dan and Bob. Uh, all this information is stored in my database. The only information that I get from the API, from the Quandle API, is this price information, like the stock information, and uh, that's it. So it just gives me end of day stock information, and for Nasdaq and all the different stocks, like there are 2,940 different stocks for which I can search. And I'll just show you, like if you just press Apple, it'll give me Apple as well. So it is giving me stock prices for all the charts, and everything is here. Uh, Now, another functionality that I have is the message board. So, let's say I go to Google's message board and I'm here. I want to go to Google's message board. I can go to Google's message board and I can see messages that everyone has written over here. Like Charlie has written that everyone needs to buy the stock, and he's saying that it's going to zoom up and buy and buy and buy. So I say, okay, cool. I've invested a lot in this stock based on your recommendation. Please let us know when to sell as well. So I just sent a message that please let me know when to sell, and whenever Charlie messages back, I'll plan to sell the Google stock. So this is basically the complete uh, functionality for an investor. And as you can see, I just refreshed the page and I am still logged in. So everything in terms of the, what do you call it, session also works. Sorry, yeah. And after that, I'll log out. Now I'll show you the functionality for uh, invest analyst. So let's say I want to log in as uh, Bob. So I logged in as Bob. It's his profile picture. As you can see, it's an analyst over here. Bob is also not invested in any. He's an analyst. He doesn't uh, spend his own money. He just spends other people's money. So he has all the same functionalities in here. The different thing that he has is for blogs, he has the ability to create a blog. So let's say uh, I'm creating test blog by Bob. And hello, this is Bob. This is a test blog by Bob. And let's say we do this H3. Let's say we do this H1. Let's see, we save it. So this is the blog that was created. Now I can go to all blogs and it has the same functionality. The new blog came over here. Uh, I also have this functionality like my blogs, which will just show me my blogs, and it also has the options to edit or delete a blog. So if I press on, let's say if I press edit over here, it'll give me the blog and I can edit that. And if I save it, it'll just take me to the blog again. And then I also have the ability to delete a blog, so it's deleted. This is all everything that I've done for blogs. And as you can see, while editing, there was the WYSIWYG editor as well, and I've implemented that as well. Another thing that I wanted to show you was, let's say I am on Google Stock and I can also go to message board. That's one functionality. Another thing was the advanced chart that I was talking about. So like we have the basic chart, now we have the advanced chart over here. This chart is basically called a candlestick chart, where it takes in the opening value, the high value, low value, and the close value, and it's called the OHLC information and the volume as well, and it then plots a trend of how the stock is doing. And analysts, what they usually do is they see these bars and charts and the candles and sticks and everything, and they basically determine whether the stock will go up or will go down. So basically, this is the advanced feature that analysts can use. And analysts and investors as well, both of them can uh, recommend stocks to users. So let's say, as Bob, I think that Dharam should buy the stock. So I'll say buy, target price, let's say is 850, and in investor, I have all these investors. I want to select Dharam, and I'll say send. It says sent over here, and Dharam has basically got a recommendation from Bob saying that he needs to buy uh, Google for a target price of 850. Uh, let's do one more. Uh, let's say Apple. Uh, I like Google. I don't like Apple as much, so I'm going to say that you should sell Apple for a target price of 85 and to Dharam. So that's a recommendation. It doesn't mean that Dharam has to be invested in Apple or anything. It's just a recommendation that if you have Apple, you should sell because it'll probably go down. And when you press send, Dharam has got that recommendation. So now let's log out and we can log in using Dharam's account. Uh, so one more feature, the same thing is here. If you don't press anything and you press log, don't enter anything and you press login, it'll just go away. It'll just show you an error. Let's say you press Dharam instead of password as Dharam, I type password as password and I press login. It gives me invalid username password combinations. I have that validation thing going on. So I enter the right password now. Dharam. I logged in. I'm back to my profile. And as you can see now on my profile, I have stock recommendations, which show that Bob recommends to buy Google for a target price of 850, and Bob recommends to sell Apple for a target price of $85. So this is the whole thing. Another thing that I can do now is I can directly go to Google's stock page from here, and I can also visit Bob's profile. So if I click on Bob, this is Bob's profile. I can view his portfolio, and since there are no stocks, there's nothing over here. Uh, I'll just comment like, "Hey Bob, you should also invest in some stocks." So Bob should get this comment from me. Uh, Now, if I go back, I can see the comments made by someone else on Bob's portfolio. And once Bob logs in, let's log in Bob again. He will get this comment on portfolio saying that Dharam has commented on his portfolio. And then if he goes to his portfolio, uh, I don't know why this is not coming. But yeah, it came. It was just taking some time. But yeah, so it works now. So this is his comments, and you can see. And now, if I comment back, yeah, sure, I'll invest soon. That comment also comes. But now, if he goes to his profile, he'll just see comments from other people and not his own comments. It doesn't make sense to show his own comments. So this is basically pretty much it. Let me think if I'm missing something. So I covered homepage, stock page. Okay, there's one more such thing like, let's say I don't select any stock. Let's say I was typing Google and I press enter. It'll just come on the search results page based on the text matching of this particular thing, and it gives me the stocks. I can click here and I go to that page. Uh, Advanced charts, news. I covered blogs. I covered people commenting on each other. I covered people commenting on the message board for each stock. A person can follow an investor. I showed you that as well. A person can view another person's profile, comment on their portfolio. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I'll go back to my portfolio, and yeah, so this is pretty much it. Yep. Thank you.